Video Marketing Essentials. In the previous discussion, I've walked you through the process of reverse engineering your competitors and then making your videos better. The next step involves following the essentials of modern video marketing to make your videos more effective. How come? Well, if you follow these tips, your videos will probably be more visible on YouTube. When people search for your niche, they're more likely to find your videos. These tips mostly turn on visibility. They are aimed at getting you eyeballs for your videos. Mention the keyword in the video itself. A lot of newbie video marketers on YouTube screw up by just packing their description as well as their video file name and video title with their target keyword. That is spam. Don't do that. You can mention your target keyword in your title once and then maybe a related keyword in the subtitle. That's it. Don't overdo it. Don't stuff the description or title of your video with keywords. What you should do is you should mention the keywords in the body of the video itself. So, when you're doing your video presentation and your target keywords are metal military figures, say that phrase from time to time. It has to flow naturally. It has to be a natural part of the video conversation you're having with your viewer. Why do this? Does Google even know? Well, it does. Because when you upload a video on YouTube, it automatically transcribes it. This happens after a few hours. So you upload a video, and then after a few hours, there will be a transcription. Now you're out of luck when the transcription is in another language. Sometimes Google's algorithm does this, but oftentimes it's in English. So, with this transcription, Google can determine whether your video actually talks about the keywords that you put in your description or title or file name. Put your keyword in your title. This goes without saying. This should be obvious. If you have a target keyword, put it in the title. It has to be natural, but try to put it as close to the beginning of the title as possible. Write attention-grabbing titles. Now, you may be thinking that this makes a lot of sense. You might even be thinking that this is obvious. Well, it's not that easy. Remember, you're already going to be putting your target keyword in your title, and sometimes it's very hard to come up with attention-grabbing headline when you have an awkward keyword. So, you might want to play around with this for a long time. Ask a lot of people and see if you can come up with a nice compact title. What makes this even more difficult is that you cannot use really, really long titles. It would be great if you could do that, so you can basically just write a mini story, but you can't. Use LSI keywords in your description. LSI keywords stand for Latent Semantic Indexing Keywords. These are keywords that are thematically related to your target keyword. So, when you find the most related keywords to your target keyword and you put it in a description that makes grammatical sense and flows naturally, you're creating context. When Google's powerful search engine's video search algorithm processes your description, it gets an idea on the context of your video. It's not just some random video that popped up. It has a specific context. Put a call to action in the description. Your description must not only describe the video with your LSI keywords, but it must also call the viewer to action. If your video does a great job and you talk about your description, when they look at the description, they should be called to action. Maybe they could click a link to join your mailing list. Maybe they could click a link to read more materials on your blog. Whatever the case may be, call them to action because otherwise, that's a failed opportunity. That's a missed opportunity. Call the viewer to action in the video itself. Don't drop the ball on this. Your description should call the viewer to action, but your video itself should also call the viewer to action. Maybe it's an audio signal or maybe it's a video sign. Whatever the case may be, call them to action. Get them to do something. Excite the viewer about all your social media accounts in the video. As much as possible, tell your viewers that you can be found pretty much on all major social media platforms. Show icons of your Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, and Facebook pages. When you do this, you create the impression that your viewer can actually get more content from you and can interact with you in so many different ways. You're not just on YouTube. Ask the viewer to ask a question or otherwise engage with your content. It doesn't hurt to ask the viewer to share, like, or comment on your video, even if the easiest ways to do this is to ask the viewer a question. For example, you published a series of nightclub guides where you hop from country to country. At the end of your latest video, you can say to your viewer, which nightclub, which city, and which country would you want me to go to next so I can shoot a video? You can ask for requests. You can ask for comments and feedback. You could ask if people had a problem. Whatever the case may be, when people engage in your content, YouTube tends to rank your video higher because engagement indicates that people are actually paying attention to your video. This also increases the likelihood that people would watch your video all the way through. Viewing duration also plays a big role in how well your video ranks. Don't lose sight of these modern video marketing essentials because they're crucial in making your video more visible. However, for you to reach this stage, you must first create videos that have completely demolished your competitors by packing a lot more value. Figuring out the different types of video marketing. It's very important to make sure that you have clearly reverse engineered your competitors. If it turns out that they are cranking out a specific type of video, you need to follow suit. Like I said, you don't have to copy and paste exactly what they're doing. If you did that, people really don't have much of an incentive or a reason to watch your videos because you're cranking out videos that are the copies of your competitors. Why watch your stuff when they can watch your competitors that are probably better known? They probably have better brands. Do you see how this works? You have to come up with something better. Still, you need to focus on what they are doing so you can offer something that your audience is already familiar with. You're not creating something completely new. You're not creating some sort of new market. You're not doing any of that because oftentimes when you try to do that, you fall flat on your face. With that said, you have to pick apart the type of videos your competitors are producing in your niche. Understand that marketing video types have their own set of advantages and disadvantages. To recap, you're going to be focusing on a specific type of video to find the answer to this by reverse engineering your competitors. What are the available types? Article to video, Video Scribe and other whiteboard video creation tools, slideshow creation tools, slideshows with voiceover, personality-focused videos. The list above includes most common types of marketing videos found on YouTube and other platforms. Your plan of attack should be pretty straightforward. You're going to zero in on the type of videos most of your competitors are offering. You're not going to do something completely different. You're not going to approach this completely from left field because while that approach sometimes works, most of the time it doesn't work. Most of the time, you just end up wasting money. So, you're going to build on what they're doing, but you're going to also make sure that the type of marketing videos your competitors are producing best fits your conversion strategy. Are you converting through a direct link? Are you converting through your blog? These are different ways of conversion. These are different conversion platforms. You have to make sure that your platform fits the type of videos you will be using to promote. Also, you have to make sure that the video type that you choose enables you to build a brand efficiently. I cannot insist on this enough. I'm telling you, if you're not building a brand, you have a commodity. That is a paraphrase from Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's absolutely on spot because if you don't sell a brand that people can identify with and read in all sorts of values, you're not really offering anything different from your competitors. You're back to the problem I described above where your viewers would say, well, why should I go to your website when I can get the same stuff from other websites that I already go to? You really don't have an answer to that. And that's why when your content is a commodity, people don't have a real reason to click on your links, buy stuff from you, or otherwise do things that put extra dollars in your pocket.